Unit 4, Formative 1, Day 6. Today's the second day of dividing. It's kind of putting everything together. Okay, there's going to be 5 problems. Make sure you write them all down. Simplify. A to the negative 1, b to the third, c over a to the second, b to the fourth, all of that to the 6th power. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to take every single thing to the 6th power. So a to the negative 1 to the 6th power becomes a to the negative 6. B to the third to the 6th power becomes b to the 18th. C to the 6th power becomes c to the 6th power. On the bottom, a to the second to the 6th power becomes a to the 12th. B to the fourth to the 6th power becomes b to the 24th. Okay, next step is to move anything that has a negative exponent. So on top you're left with b to the 18th, c to the 6th, over a to the 12th, b to the 24th, and then I'm going to move this a to the negative 6 to the bottom. Okay, now just start with your letters. So start with a. You have a to the 12th, a to the 6th, both on bottom. So on the bottom you have a to the 18th. Your b's, okay, b to the 18th over b to the 24th. They're bigger on the bottom, so b to the, you subtract and you get b to the 6th on the bottom, and then you have c to the 6th on top. Okay, number 2, 3x to the second, y to the negative 3 over 2x to the negative 8, y to the 5th, all of that to the negative second. So you have 3 to the negative 2, x to the negative 4, y to the positive 6, so I'm just multiplying, okay? 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, negative 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. On the bottom you have 2 to the negative 2, x to the negative 8 times negative 2 is positive 16, y to the 5th to the negative 2nd becomes y to the negative 10th. Okay, so now you just move every single thing that has a negative exponent. So on top you're left with, we need to move the 2 to the, now positive 2 on top, okay? Y to the 6 is already up there, and then you have y to the negative 10 gets moved to the top, so we're done with those 3. Okay, on the bottom you have 3 to the positive 2. X to the 16th was already there, and we're moving x to the 4th down there. 2 to the 2nd is 4. Your y's, y to the 6th, y to the 10th becomes y to the 16th. On the bottom, 3 to the 2nd is 9, and then you have x to the 16th, x to the 4th becomes x to the 20th. There's nothing else you can simplify, so that is your answer. Okay, make sure you get all that written down. Each step, not just the answer, so you can see where I got it from. 6x to the second over y to the third, or excuse me, times y to the third to the 0, all over 5x to the 9th. Okay, remember y to the, anything to the 0 power is just 1, so that cancels. 6 and 5, there's nothing to simplify, so it stays 6 and 5. X to the second over x to the 9th, it's bigger on the bottom, so you have x to the 9 minus 2, which is 7. Nothing left to simplify, so that's your answer. Number 4, 2m to the 5th over 3m, all of that to the negative 2. Well, 2m to the 5th, nothing happens to it. On the bottom, you have 3 to the negative 2 and m to the negative 2, so I just distributed that negative 2. Okay, now move things that have a negative exponent. So you have 2 times 3 to the 2nd, and then you have your m to the 5th and move up the m to the 2nd. There's nothing left on the bottom, so it's over 1. 2 times 3 to the 2nd, well 3 to the 2nd is 9, 9 times 2 is 18, so you have 18, m to the 5 plus 2 is 7, all over 1. Okay? Alright, last one. 4x to the negative 2, y to the 4th, all over 8x to the 3rd, y to the negative 2 to the 3rd. So remember, it's just kind of like order operations. Start with your parentheses. Okay, so you have 4x to the negative 2, y to the 4th, over 8x to the 3rd. This 3 only goes with the y because it's the only thing in parentheses. So that becomes y to the negative 6. Okay, now let's move everything that has a negative exponent. So the 4 stays on top, the y to the 4th stays on top, the y to the negative 6 moves to the top, becomes y to the 6th. If you notice, I like to cross things out so I know what I've done. Ax to the 3rd stays on the bottom, and then move that x to the negative 2 becomes x to the 2nd on the bottom. Alright, now start with simplifying your numbers. 4 over 8 becomes 1 over 2. Y to the 4th, y to the 6th becomes y to the 10th. X to the 3rd, x to the 2nd becomes x to the 5th. Alright, so that should be everything. Make sure you got everything written down. We'll see you tomorrow.